Good morning, everybody. Hi. I'm happy to have a class of friends like this today. When I was told that I'm to be part of this program, I had mixed feelings. I was asking myself, what are the class of people, the kind of people I'm going to discuss, share ideas with? Well, he has introduced me, and I need to know all of you, because there's need for us to know ourselves. Is there not the need? Yeah. Please. Before I start forward. Just from here,
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mrs. Ethel Oko. I'm a civil servant and a realtor. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. My name is Onugo Christabel. I'm a fashion designer and also a realtor. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Madu Yukeri. I'm a realtor.
Good morning, sir. I'm Chioma, and I'm a banker.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Patricia Cap. I'm a realtor.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Hope Ezechukwu. I'm a realtor.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. My name is Jane Eme. I'm a realtor.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Shilita. I'm a realtor.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, class. I am Evangelist Augustine Abbott and also a realtor.
Good morning, class. My name is George Chukwudi Asogwa. I'm a medical lab scientist and a realtor.
Good morning, class. My name is Chineye. I am a civil servant and also a realtor.
Good morning, all. I'm Victor, a realtor. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. I'm Apostle John C. Sylvester.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sullivan Ezeme. I am an architect.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Ifeanyi Obiese. I'm a business consultant and a realtor.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everybody. My name is Obin Nene. I'm a realtor.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Oba Onyenye. I'm a civil servant.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Okibe Chime, civil servant.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Favor Hansen. I'm a student of UNEC. And
good morning, everyone. I am Onyenwa Kego, a civil servant.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Gloria Oreto. I'm a fashion and designer and a realtor. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, sir. I'm Iwaha Obiagiri, a civil servant.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ogechi Loka. I'm a bag maker, an interior decorator, and a realtor.
Good morning, sir. My name is Eke Munachi. I'm a student. I'm into business, and I'm a realtor.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nneka Ona. I'm an event planner and also a realtor. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ifeoma Ebufo. I'm a staff of UNTH Enugu.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Grace Naman. I am a realtor.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Priska Okoli. I'm a rector, full-time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the introduction. As earlier said by the person that introduced me, I'm Ezema Kadeta Nchede. And it gladdens my heart to discuss real estate. I will share this with you people. In my family, we have professionals. We have a medical doctor, have a reverend father, have a nurse, a pharmacist. Yes, yes. Medical radiographer, I said it earlier. Good. So when whoever we discuss, I will tell them that my own profession is number one. And they will try to argue. But I will tell them, whatever I would want to do in life, you need an accommodation. Is it not so? If it is business, if it's where to live, whatever you may imagine doing, this and it needs a space. And that's why it's number one. Even linking to biblical references. Garden and Eden. That is the first creation, one of the creations during the beginning, in the beginning, when what God did. So, what is the projector there? Let's go into a business of the day. Okay. So, as you have made up your mind to join real estate, it's only real estate that you can see when all that economy is falling. Real estate remains where it is. I'm happy to have a banker in our midst. You can't talk of loan, tangible loan, without real estate. Am I lying? Because it's hedged to inflation. You can't buy land in the morning and want to sell it in the afternoon and you sell it the same. It must have appreciated. And in our topic today, I was asked to handle everything about property management. When you talk about property management, mind you are not only managing property, you are managing human beings that are living in the property, managing the resources as well. And that is why it's quite different from business management. For those things that may have its way in business management, may not go down well with property management. I would have been glad to control this so that I can move at my pace. I suggest, if it is possible, to have their emails, so that after the lecture you give them. Exactly. Yes. Because I may not try to break down word by word what is there. The essence of being a bit elaborate is for you to go home and digest it. So, as I earlier said, if a policy is made and eventually the policy is not executed, what is lacking there is management lapses. Am I understood? Because it's not enough to make decision. Yes, one can make decision that you are going here or doing one or two things, but the most important thing is that were you able to back those decisions with planning, actions, to see expected results? It is key. One of the authors defined management as effective use of resources to achieve desired objectives, which I have just explained. Resources is key in decisions. Because whatever you want to do, even if you want to build a house, you must have sized your pocket, how much you have. If you look at your pocket and see that you could be able to handle such project, then you go on further who are the professionals to consult. Let's just, as we have given illustration with building up a structure. Is the architect there? What kind of, is it bungalow or duplex? Is it a block of flats? Those things should come into your mind. And while coming into your mind, you must have known the much you have. Whether it is what can take up duplex, bungalow, or blocks of flats, depending on what the choice, what you are looking for. That then you talk of market. Do you get it? If you are building block of flats, who are the market? Who will take care of, pay for those block of flats? If you are building a bungalow or duplexes, like you can, if you go to Independence Layout, you can see that most buildings there are duplexes. You can't build duplex in Obiago and expect somebody to pay it. It may be, somebody may pay, but it may be difficult. Do you get my point? So those are things you must have to put in place when you are talking about carrying out a project or property management. So that is the effective use of resources to achieve desired goal. That desired goal is key because whatever you are, if you see when we go down, you see the kind of the designs on how management goes. There's a diagram. Oh, yes. That's the diagram. This has been able to discuss everything about management. At the center, you see backlog of available resources. The arrow goes up, needs and wants, and come down, goals to be set, goals to be achieved. Like I earlier gave as an instance, that using a building, for example, if you want to build a duplex or whatever structure you would have in mind, you must have sized your pocket. Can I be able? There is what is called feasibility studies, feasibility and viability. But at this stage, you can talk of feasibility. And even if at feasibility stage, you have too many challenges. You have physical, you have legal, you have financial. Those are things you must have, the indices you must have to put together before you could be able to scale through to now look at viability of every project. Then let's come down to what we have for the day. I'm still working on that, please. Backlog of available resources, the needs and wants. You have let me link it to that of building, let's say, bungalow. You must have resources on ground before you think of, I want to own my own house. Is that not so? Good. Need. What would you achieve by getting such? That's the need or want. The satisfaction you derive from it. Then that takes you feasibility. Is it achievable? Then how can I go about it? Goals will be set to achieve on achieving that. Then that takes you to planning. Planning is bringing in professionals, architects, or what have you, in building industry that are linked to achieving such objectives. The planning is not enough. You have to act on the planning you have already. Having acted on it, if it is, let's say, use an example of an income yielding property. First of all, there is resources. The need. goals, planning, action, realization of goal. If it's an income yielding property, that will come, the money after building such project, such property, money starts flowing again. Do you get it? Am I on point? Are people following me? I'm just trying to do this illustration so that it will go down well with us on understanding this clearly. This is the backlog. After going round, money will start coming when the project is now completed. You may, from then, start to expand such businesses. If it is block of flat, bungalow you built yesterday, today you may think of block of flat. And looking at the target market, who are to patronize you if you have such projects within such an area. Those things, the marketability, those things are key. Because when you have projects without people to, you have a project and it has stayed for even 6 months without occupation, you are losing. Even a month, you are losing. Because why you know that you are losing is that if you calculate, if, for instance, it is 120,000 per plot, and you have 6 blocks of flat, and after completion, the property stayed up to 2 or 3 months before tenants start coming in. If you divide 120 by 12, it will give you a fraction of a month rent. And if you multiply that, if it is, let's say, 20,000 naira per month, 20,000 naira by 3, is it not 60,000 naira? Which you have lost. Yes. So that's why you must have to look at target market first. It's key. So that the projects would be there, unoccupied. Let's progress, please. Well, I think I've gone about management. We have a lot to discuss. Just skip management. Every other what it does. When you get home, please. Wherever you may need to have my number, whatever is confusing you, you can call me. You can link them to link me. Is that understood? Okay, it's okay. Go up a bit. Yes. These are the reason why we think of properties. Satisfaction and economic needs. Profit, independence, prestige, social power, continuity, social benefit. Let's take it one after the other. If you talk of satisfaction of economic and social need, the primary need for building is shelter. That's the primary need. To have an enclosure so that hazardous weather or whatever may harm human being, whether in the day or in the night, will not reach you. Is it not so? Good. That is the primary need of housing. Security, to protect you from other, rain will not follow you, sun will not harm you, and every other thing that could be posed danger to humanity. Then if you come down to profit, yes, investors globally, real estate investors globally, every average businessman is profit oriented. Yes, what we just discussed. If you cite this, how marketability of every property. If you are citing, like locating a block of flats within an area, how much is the cost? What is the rental value of block of flats within that area? All those analyses must have been concluded prior to citing, before imagining to cite investment there. Those are the pre-investment analysis you must do. I want to locate a block of flats within this location. What is the rent per block of flat within that area. If I build 6 blocks of flat, 12 blocks of flat, annually, what will I get? If I use 100 million to build a block of flats within this area, how much will I recoup within that? How long will it take me to recoup that 100 million? Because why real estate is different from every other businesses is that what we hear in real estate is millions. Hardly do you hear thousands, is it not so? You hardly hear thousands, it's millions, billion. That's why where you can hide money, if you ask any reasonable human being, you tell in the real estate. If you bring 1 trillion now, want to hide this before end of the day, you hide it in real estate. Yes. And that is why it is the thought note when you talk of investment. So, independence. You could imagine the sense of freedom it will give you. As a young man, you have your own, you dream of having your own duplex, and eventually you achieve it. It gives sense of security and freedom. That you are shifting from your father's house to your own house. Do you get the point? Even women, majority of women, when the suitor is coming, first question, some questions, some people will ask, has he built house? That is to tell you how that freedom he wants to exhibit. Is it also? Or is he living in his father's house? So not to talk of a man who built it. So it gives high level of freedom and security. Then prestige and social power. Imagine an Igwe in a community who doesn't have a reasonable house, or someone who would want to vie for Igwe. The first question is, what is his place like? Do you get it? What is his place like? So that's why you can see even somebody who may not even character-wise qualified to become Igwe of a community, but because he has what it takes, the power will, the enlarge of the estate or the property he has or the place he's living may give him sway or give him go ahead order. Because if it's given to maybe, as we reason know, given to somebody who is characterly qualified and who doesn't have house, well, even the people in the village will be converging for meetings. So that is social security. I mean, social power. I give Igwe as an example, who doesn't have a place to live, or a person who wants to vie for Igweship in a community. First question we'll ask, what is the palace like, or would the palace like? So if the palace is okay, or would be palace is okay, that is a good grade for him. He has scored up to 60%. Then continuity. When you talk of continuity, good number of us here have a, you can't tell me that you don't have, where your grandfather lived. Even if you are building outside it, you would want to sustain that place. This is where the whole family converges. Family converges maybe annually or during occasions. So real property are kept for continuity. Then social benefits. Their government comes into play. You can see Nguse's housing, building estates everywhere. That is to reduce the housing deficit in the state. And ideally, if government is there, the cost should be reduced. It shouldn't be how it ordinarily would be out there. I get my point. So it is one of the primary functions of government. Is anybody in housing here? Or Minister of Land? Okay. Maybe in our next lecture. I beg, let's progress, please. Okay. That's why I say ideally. Yes, you're right. Yes. Well, the issue there is that actually I like participatory class. Hmm? Wherever you are confused or you need explanation, you draw my attention back. Hmm? So thank God you got what I mean clearly. Ideally, yes. In ideal situation, my friend. All those things are what I've been able to have explained already. I've picked and explained them. Move on, move on. Mm-hmm. A function of management in the economy and in relation to real estate. Press is forward. Okay. Scroll further. There are some, I would just, when you get home, you read it and ask questions. Maybe on our next lectures. Go forward. We have done this. Okay. We have explained this. Okay, let's go into agency. I think this majority of us here would appreciate this better than maybe the previous one. When you talk of agency, I'm happy I'm seeing those who are up to 60, even 65 or something like that. But it's okay, 70. Taking part in this lecture. What it shows is that there's an adage, or there's a saying, learning starts from birth and ends as death. So, and when you keep giving brain is just like normally you see people jumping across or doing all manner of exercises at Opera Square on daily basis. If you want your brain to remain active, you must be feeding your brain every time. So that you'll be moving with the trend. So if you talk of estate agency, one would ask, what is agent? Or who is agent? For you to talk of agents, there must be principal. And if for you to talk of principal and agent coming together, there must be an agreement. Contractual agreement. Like in agency, we have letting, we have sales, we have management, and I think some of them more. What holds in management could be different from sales or letting. Let's say from and what is the target? Commission. There are keywords you must speak for you to define agency clearly. There must be agent, principal, contractual agreement. That is the job you have to do for the person. And scope of time. Because somebody, as my age is, let me just assume you are my agent. And I ask you to find a plot of land for me. I may tell you I need this within 2 weeks. Can you be able to do it? You say yes. Whether oral or written, contract has established. You have oral contract and written contract, or written agreement as well. And what are you targeting? You are looking at your commission. Because eventually, that is what will push you to really scout for such property with all manner of hard work. And in as far as you have seen, there is established that there is agent, principal, contractual agreement, definite or indefinite duration, with the expectations of commission, agency has established. Do you get this point? These are the keywords you must have to capture for you to know that you're already an agent or into agency. My friend, scroll. Let's discuss types of agency. Okay, types of agency. We have sales, we have leasing or letting, and management agency. In management agency, I think it's what we have to discuss at the end of the lecture. Letting or sales, I've just explained them. Good. Let's talk on types of, parties. Parties, as I've said, we have agents, we have principal. Scroll. I would have like control so that I'll move at my pace. Creation of let's. Okay. Creation of agency. There are keywords that should be parts or ingredients that make up agency creation. And what are what? Commission. The duty of the agent. The commencement date. The duration. Type of agency. Like we have said, it could be sales, it could be letting, it could be management. Somebody may have a property and ask you to let for him. He didn't want you, he may not want you to manage the property. And somebody eventually after letting it, somebody will come in for management. These are different agencies. Type of agency, the address and description of the property involved. The fulfillment, the full identity. The full identities of the parties. That is the principal and the agent. All those things are to be integrated in the agreement. Move further. Okay. The professional task in agency. Let's pick them one after the other. Seek and find a property. A client may ask you, seek and find a property which is in the market. Depending on, maybe it could be for sales, it could be for letting, it could be for acquisition. That you would want a plot of land in, let's say, in a GRA. It's now left for you. That's why you cannot underestimate the power of networking. When you could be able to have population like this coming together, being into agency, what it will take you is nothing but, because I don't believe you are living in the same place. So people may have come from different places. My friend, a client needs a thing like this urgently. And you people will join hand and before you know it, whatever the kind of, whether it's an apartment, empty plot, or whatever, it will not be difficult for all of you to join hands together and look for it. Then advise the client on the appropriate market. That is the function of an agency. Advise the client on the appropriate market price. Yes, somebody may have a property and probably may want to hike the price. Let's say a bungalow that should ordinarily in the market should be, let's say 500,000 naira, and somebody has built a new structure and placed it at 800,000 or 1 million naira. Won't you think that that property will stay longer in the market? Yes, because as the agent who is representing the interest of your client or the principal, you should advise him properly that, considering the neighborhood in question, that this class of property like this goes for this in the market. And if you allow it to continue, if you can't bring it down to match up with the neighborhood, it will be difficult for you to rent the property. And if you can't advise your principal in such way, it then means you are not a good agent. You can see that the property has stayed longer and is prepared to stay longer than it has stayed already. And you allow the property, which ordinarily will know that when it is brought down to the rental value within the neighborhood, eventually, in no distant time, people will pick it. So these are the things which an agent should be conscious of doing when you are representing the interest of your client or your principal. Advice on repairs or any maintenance work. Yes, people may pack out of a property and coming into it, you look at it and know that even the electrical aspect of the building is faulty. Plumbing aspect of it. There's no need for you to maybe start bringing in proposed tenants to check the property. Or even this recent time that social media has taken up the space in marketing. I don't think you have the morale to video it and push to the person who may not be close to see it. So it is your duty as to your client to really advise him that there needs to fix certain things, and even if it requires painting, to beef up the rental value of the property. Because knowing eventually that if that is not done, the rental value of that property will be affected. Whoever comes there will check at the cost of putting those things together and add this to the rental value you placed it before you could make up your mind or decision whether to pay for the property or not. But when all those things are done, which is it is a duty of care as an agent to your client or to your principal to advise him that we need to fix these things together in order to bring up the value to the to the rightful value within the property market. Advice on the method of sales, if it is for sales or purchase. Likewise, if it is for letting, those things has a different terms and a contract attached to it. If it is for sale, you can advise. Maybe he has a property and he wants to sell, and he has a lots of problems which he has attached or placed on that property. He has a problem of 1 million naira, and the cost of the property or the value of the property in the market may be 500,000 naira, and you said try and sell it to 1 million naira. Will it be easy for you to sell? You tell him now, property, such size of property within such area goes for this. So it is lies on you to advise him that look at how the property, that you can make inquiries. Yes, make inquiry and know exactly. Then decide on whether to advise or not. If measure of advertisement. Some people can even go to radio advertisement, flyers, and any other measure. Scroll further, please. Then types of agency. we have a open agency. When a landlord or a vendor has a property and he meets Mr. B, that my property at Owani, I want to sell it. It is 5 million naira. Meet Mr. C, that's my property at Owani, I'm selling it. It goes for 5 million naira. D, C, and good number of them. It's open agency. What it means that whoever finds the buyer first picks the commission. If the vendor or the landlord eventually finds the buyer, it pays nobody. Is that understood? That's open agency. Sole agency or exclusive agency. That is when it is directed at it is only you. That my property, sell it for me. Do you get it? And mind you, in every agency, what an agent is looking at is his commission. Nothing else. But you are duty bound to protect the interest of your client. You are duty bound. You can't, maybe your tenant is not living within. And you know the value of the property is 1 million naira. And you tell him that the value of the property is 500,000 naira. So that you can sell it 1 million naira and take 500,000. Do you get it? That's duty of credence, duty of loyalty. Those are the duties you owe as a client, as an agent, which are law abiding. If you fail to execute it, yes. So, exclusive rights to sell. In this exclusive rights to sell, whoever sells it, you are entitled to a commission. In as far as it's within the scope of time given, you exclusively ask to sell this. Multiple agency. In a multiple agency, I am agent A. B, my friend told me to sell this property. I'm the first person he consulted. As my friend, I told my friend, please, let's or the person just as open agency. Sorry. Multiple is that he engaged too many people. Open is that he did not. It's just a similar to this. If you go through it, if you go through it, you discover that it was linked to it. Are you getting it? Multiple is that you gave numerous people access. Go ahead. I have this product. Sell it for me. Sell it for me. I have property this place. Mr. B, Mr. B, Mr. C, Mr. C, all of them. Whoever comes first. Which as well, if the owner sells. But in multiple, if the commission comes, I won't tell you that I'm selling this property, and you tell your friend, and probably your friend tells another person, and that person happens to bring the buyer, you deny us. That's the chain. Are you getting it? It should go that chain, which till it gets to the original person that got the brief. And these are what too many of us in agency normally do. We try to cut so that you have they say is if I add these people, add all of them, 20,000 naira. What I would have gotten maybe 80,000 naira or 100,000 naira. And sometimes you may not know exactly the character of the person you are dealing with. Yes. And that 20,000 or 30,000 which you are trying to deny him may cause your death. Do you get the point? You may not know how desperate the person is. So that's why it needs high level of discipline. Yes, in real estate, it needs high level of discipline. Push. Go further. Okay. Why use agent? Number one, absentee landlord. Somebody may be living in US. And it's only real property that you can sell globally without the landlord or owner being present. If the professional in question or the agent in question will just conduct search, know exactly that the documents attached to the property is genuine, and it's obvious that the person is selling it, you go ahead and pay and pick your document. If you want to buy a car, you will go and look at the car. Now the door is good though. This side is not okay. The other side is not. You look at too many things. But land, you may not even see land you are buying. But because you have an agent, a reliable agent, even if it's more than 100 million, you pay. Once the documents attached to the property is genuine, you don't have worry. Likewise, selling it. You can sell wherever you are. You may have your documents. I had experience in my practice one time in the past. A friend called me that there is a property that his friend would want to sell, that he's living in the US. Then he gave me the number of the person in US. He's a Nigerian. We started talking. I told him that he should give me evidence that you have given me rights to sell this property. He wanted to come from the angle of open agency or multiple agency. He asked this person, asked the other person, asked the other person. He asked me, do you want exclusive right to sell agency? I said, no. That as a professional, I have right. Anything that is not documented, people can deny. Do you get it? And whatever is written is alive till the person that is attached to that document dies. So whatever you are writing, you'll be very, very conscious and careful. Because that thing is alive. As long as you live, that thing is alive. Then, he told him that he wouldn't want it to be so. I said, okay. Eventually, I brought somebody that bought a land and a building in Independent Layout. I never knew that he didn't discuss with the wife. Then quarrel ensue. After we have sold the property, and he was looking at everywhere to evidence to show the wife that look at the computers sold the property for him. I thought he called me. Can you prepare anything for him to show the wife? I said it's late. That was the original document I asked you, I demanded initially. Could you refuse? I can't prepare anything and backdate it. So for you to see the need to be very conscious in real estate practice, it is a job that somebody may see you trekking in the morning. Before 12 noon, you are with your own car. Yes. That's the most lucrative business currently, anywhere, anytime. And it continues to be so. Yes. So I don't compromise. I don't have apology to anybody on what becomes the major business in town. Is real estate. I'm both to say it anywhere, anytime. Conflict of interest. Somebody may be a landlord may maybe try to rent his property. Maybe living in, maybe have a, let's say, 6 block of flats and will be living in one apartment. And you know, if he's the one managing it, he may not exercise all that authorities. Even people, there will be conflicts here and there. Even people come in to, most people don't like living where landlord is living. Do you get it? Mm-hmm. So, in trying to avoid such conflicts of interest, you engage an agent to manage your property. Even if you are living there, allow an agent to manage that your property. It reduces stress. We have tried to shoulder responsibilities on tenancies, challenges of tenants. Yes, because the most difficult aspect of real estate practice is property management. That's the most difficult aspect of it. We have some also have hostel properties we are managing. If I tell you the heat and pressure that is coming from it, before you now look at it from other, maybe block of flat or duplexes, is enough pressure. That if you are not conscious enough, you develop BP. And that's what they transfer, and that's why you are those commissions you are pocketing. That's where it's coming from. You believe that you can be able to do it. And you are trained to do it. As a medical doctor, I don't see the reason why a patient should be brought to your office and you ask them to take him away or her away. You understand? So you'll be able to accommodate challenges in real estate. Be bold enough to, because there are enough, enormous and enough challenges there. And it pays as well. Let's progress. Sentiment. You want to sell your property, and your brother want to buy your property. Can you sell it at market price? So, for you to avoid sentiment, give it to agent. If your brother want to buy it, let him buy it from agent, so that it command full rental value. Do you get it? Probably from there you can settle your brother. Then family third. If there is misunderstanding in the family, probably agency will be contacted, agents will be contacted. Maybe land that is causing problem in the family. Agents could be contacted instead of themselves selling it. These are reasons why agency are needed. So you can never over-exhaust, you can never exhaust areas of agency in real estate. Very numerous. Then we now come to sales by bank when you talk of mortgage. In mortgage, mortgage is, borrow me this. This is my collateral. If I don't pay it back, use my collateral. A banker. Somebody, isn't it? Borrow me this. And that's why in most cases, you can always allow go with their fund when you have submitted reasonable collateral, which probably land-oriented collateral. Because when the borrower has run away in the night, the land remains. Is that understood? Why they choose land as the most acceptable collateral? The borrower may run in the night, go to overseas. Land will not run. It will remain there. So far you have the document. It's for you. So, and linking is to what we are discussing. Agency has to be contacted when bank wants to dispose such property. That's auctioneer, which is always done within the location of the property. Steps in carrying out sales. If you want to sell a property, first step is that creation of attention. The social property within the social location is for sale. You may send to your friend. This block of flats at, let's say, number 1001 street is for sale. You are creating attention. Somebody may pick interest. It is now left for you to arouse the person's interest. Let's say it's just an empty plot within a large plot, within a well-developed area. How do you go about arousing the person's interest? You start by telling the person the likely projects that would be good within that area. If it's large enough to accommodate school, you said somebody can build school there. If it is maybe recreational facilities. Those are the things you have to bring in, depending on what the person would want to put his money into. If you could be able to know exactly what the person, you try to align your actions and thoughts and speeches towards that angle. Yes, that project could go. Look at the viability of this person that is, look, if he tells you how much he makes there, the business within that area, in fact, there is no business of that nature within that area. That shows that if you put in anything there, it will move up. The business will be unique. Do you get the point? Try to bring in facts that will convince the person. That's arousing the person's interest. More reason why he should invest in such. Inducing his belief. Yes, allow him to believe. You try all manner of efforts to convince him to believe in what you are saying. Achievement of conviction. Eventually, the person will be convinced. Yes, all those things you have been preaching, he has been able to maybe in one way or the other evaluated them and be able to know that really, if he signs such business there, it will move on, move up. It will move on. As earlier said, no investment or no average investor is every average investor is profit mentality. So it has a profit profiteering mentality. Sorry, every average businessman has profiteering mentality. So if it is business that the person is going in to do there, he must convince him that if he's putting this social amount of money there, that within this space of time he'll be able to recoup such money. If those such conditions are not there, the person may not go into the such business. And eventually, action. Action is when it comes to the point of payment. Then you know that your efforts has yielded fruit. Then you smile. Because what you are looking at is nothing but that commission that's attached to it. Then, private treaty, sales by auction, and tender. These are measures upon which property could be sold. Progress. Okay, reason for selling. Reason for selling. These are things you can do at your comfort zone. But let's read them together. Most sales by treaty are decided upon as a result of financial problems. If you have device you make a zone area, you have one badogno, you not sure you sell that thing and take care of your need at the moment. Where a family property is in contention, and where disputes in a family about a property, you sell it. Cases of maybe this one in a number of cases, men who were finding life unbearable, or who had managed to keep on with Katangora's wife. Katangora's wife had secretly sold off their houses. It's obtainable. Let's progress, please. Agents' duties to the principal. Number one is duty of positive action. If a landlord, a vendor gives you property to market to sell for him, the energy you are adding is a mark of positive mindset. Let's say, for instance, you are trying to convince somebody to buy a property, and I'll tell the person, I don't know whether you can afford but I can see it. So the person will be looking at you. The passion of conviction has to be exhibited. Even if the person may not have the money to buy the property, there could be an approach, and the person may link. In every problem you have, before you link up to 10 persons, the problem will be solved. Mark this. You have a problem, you meet this person, he can't solve it. You meet this person, he can't solve it. Before you move up to 10 persons, your problem is solved. So the person may not be in a position to buy the property. Whom he knows that can buy the property. Yes. And probably had it been you didn't convince the person rightly. Not minding that maybe no person that no person that no person. That's how things go. Yeah. So because of the right words used to the person, that look at this property is good for this. If you can go to see someone that person will now take the information to another person that there is a property. Those are positive energy that you have added, which eventually must yield the result. Then another one is duty of obedience. You have duty of obedience and duty of loyalty. Your principal should not ask you to do this and you deviate. Yes, he asks you that the value of the property in the market is this. Unless you, otherwise you convince him, maybe he's high, he had the price in a situation whereby somebody who wants to load every of his problems on a particular property has problem of 1 million and he wants property of 500,000 to solve challenges of 1 million. Carry out market survey to know exactly that the value, the rental value of such property is this in the property market. Ordinarily, who asks you to sell it to 1 million and you go and sell it 500,000, not even knowing fully that is the value of the property is 500,000 in the market. That his approval. Do you get the point? He must give you approval. So whatever goes beyond the instruction given to you is disobedience. And duty of loyalty, you must be loyal to him. He finds out that if he asks you to do this, you do that. If he finds out that whatever instruction he's giving to you, you are doing contrary, it won't work. You can't work together. Two cannot go together unless there is agreement. That's what I've just explained. I've explained. Duty of care. Okay. Let me get back to auctioneering. Auction. Sales by auction. In this measure, you have auctioneer. We have what is called reserve price. And highest bidder or bidders. The highest bidders, let's say a property is up, maybe there's a default. This is where there's a default in a loan repayment. And eventually there's a foreclosure. Which bank wants to sell the property? The bank will now, auctioneer has to come at the location of that property to auction the property. And attention of the agency there is an auctioneer. The name of the agency there is auctioneer. Who listens to the highest bidder? If a property is, and that, why there is reserve price is that if it is in loan repayment, there must have been an amount upon which that property is made to clear. Do you get it? There must be an amount that that property must clear when sold. And maybe as little as expenses. Those things are what are to be considered, and reserve price will be fixed. That upon anything lower than this, you should not sell. That's an instruction. So, and the auctioneer, no matter how you try, and you couldn't get to that reserve price, you should not sell that property. If you sell it, you are in for it. And in a situation like that, the highest bidder goes with the property in question or in contention. We have explained the duty of obedience, duty of care, duty of loyalty. It's just the same thing as that of agency. Only but in auction sales, is auctioneer that is involved in such marketing. Okay. Foreclosure is either insurance or banking language. Foreclosure is that bank has taken your property as a result of inability of loan repayment. Do you get it? And when that is when it is up for auction. Is that understood? Then, procedure in property management. One is scouting. One may be passing across this federal government's road and see a new structure. Just overnight, just came into existence. Maybe at painting stage, finishes. And you may meet the person, please, I am this. I'm into property management. That is scouting. This is what we do. Somebody needs a plot of land here. Do you have it? That is scouting. Do you get it? Then, client and the management stroke agent. If you are given responsibility to manage a property by a client, it is not enough that by telling you, I have a property here, please go ahead and manage it for me. There is a document that should be given to you as a professional to prove really that you have been assigned to take his decision. Because when you have been, which is power of attorney, when a landlord gives you power of attorney, what it means is that take decision on my behalf, but must be consulted. Do you get it? You must consult him. But you are taking decision. Even some tenants may not even know. But they may not even see landlord. Even if they stayed 10 to 50 years in a property. Okay.
When you were explaining that a man wanted to sell his building that stays abroad in US, so that you told him to give you a letter authorizing you to sell that. Is it the same kind of letter you collect in this case?
Okay. Thank you so much. That's why I said I like questions, please. It will make it participatory. And it will make me to be convinced that what I'm saying, I'm not talking to myself. That people are really understanding what I'm saying. Because time is essence of life. If at the end of the day and you are unable to go home with something, I think I've wasted my time. They are not the same. Do you get it? In power of attorney, actually all of them gives right for decisions. Authority to sell letter is different from power of attorney. Do you get it? Authority to sell. If a landlord is giving you authority to sell, he must design it in a way, authority to sell. This of so address have assigned so company. Are you getting this? Or we have assigned. Are you getting it? So company to sell my property at this location at so price. Do you get it? With so commission. Everything has to be stated there, but that is authority to sell later. Do you get this right? But in management, power of attorney, he's giving you power to take care, to manage this property, take decisions. But you must have to consult him in your decision. Probably most cases, his adversary role. Let's do this, please. There's need to put this here. Why? He may ask you why. It will enhance the value. That's why I told you that every average man is profit-oriented mentality. You get it? Anything that is not thinking towards adding value to his property, he will give deaf ear to it. Is that understood? But whenever you tell him that if you do this, property or a block of flat that is has been 200,000 will come up to 300,000 or 400. What's the cost of what you say we have to use for the maintenance? He will listen. Then, and in the property management, which I've earlier told you that it is most difficult aspect of real estate practice. Because you handle funds, you handle clients, you handle property, you handle tenants. This is it. You are managing the fund. You are managing the tenant. You are managing the property. You are managing the landlord. Yes. Because this landlord, the character of this landlord A can never be the same with the character of landlord B. You may even come across somebody that's better. That's why one of the definitions of management in the write-up there is that talk of perceptive originality. Perceptive originality. Perceptive originality. Let me give an instance. There is a property, my company is, this is a block of flats at Oka, Unizik. When the landlord or the client then, when the person in question then, who later became the landlord, was about to buy the property, a friend of mine consulted me to be part of the transaction. But it couldn't work out the way we thought. Eventually, a relative has to go into management of that property. When the process of buying the property was concluded. After 6 months of management, it was too difficult for them to collect rent from the student. And that friend of mine who is an architect, who introduced me to them during the time of purchase. When they were still discussing on it, how difficult they have found it, managing that property, they called me. After 6 months, when they couldn't even receive rent from that property. When I was consulted, he told me that, because a point came when he wanted to even take police and pack all of them. the students. He told me when I was called, one morning I was just called. Where are you? I'm in Enugu. I was asked to hand over this property to you. Come immediately. I went there. What he told me was, be careful. We have Curtis, we have everything you are thinking on earth are living there. So that they will not kill you. I told him, well, he just gave me a contact point. Meet this person. The person will lead you. I went there. Lo and behold, I witnessed all those things he told me. But as a student, I was a student's leader. I'm handling students as a lecturer. So there's no tricks you can bring that I cannot know how to handle you. The first day I had meeting with them, some of them, they came, tried to maybe to stay at my back. One of them, I said, no. Come on. This is a family discussion. This is a family discussion. We see my face, I see your face. I must be frank with you, I didn't find it easy. Even at this moment. You get it? That's why I told you that property management is the most difficult aspect of real estate practice. Most landlords knew the difficult nature of it and shifted it to professionals. And you must have that perceptive originality, ability to handle issues as they come. Wisdom, grace. Yes. Because if you ask animal to stay here, animal will stay here. If you ask animal to go, animal will go. But tell human being to stay. He will ask you, look at you, who born you? Who is your father? Am I owing you? Do you get it? Even when the person is on wrong side. But it now takes you to the idea and wisdom to know that there are measures upon which you can handle stubborn tenants. Yes. And if you don't have that wisdom on how to handle stubborn tenants, you have problem. They can even beat you. Yes. But if you know the power you have, he will be the person to be running helter-skelter. Yes. You don't need to talk. Just be guided with good judgment. So, and when you are, there are certain documents you must sign when you are packing into a property. First of all is acquaintance form. In acquaintance form, the firm in question, or the property manager in question, or property management in question. In banking industry, that is what is called KYC. Know your customer. So you are expected to, a proposed tenant is expected to fill a form. Where does he work? What is the size of the family? Because you can't tell me that somebody in a 2-bedroom apartment, somebody who has 2 wives with 4 each. Are you getting it? We want to pack into a 2-bedroom apartment or 2-bedroom flat. Then you calculate all of them. You can know the pressure it will add to the facilities. I don't know if you're getting the point. Yes. So, but if you could be able to take those information down it will enable you to know, even if you are to give them that apartment. Because if you can't tell them that I don't know how to accept this number of this family size into this apartment, you tell them somebody just paid for it. Is it also? Somebody just paid to be polite. Yeah? So, when you have known, checked and know that the person is suitable to such apartment, you can now give the person an offer letter. And what are the contents of offer letter? Offer letter is that a place that the social apartment commands this rental value. If there's caution fee, you pay. If caution fee of this, tenancy, service charge, all those charges will be included. Pay is to this account and bring teller to us. So if the person has accepted the offer, he will go and pay because the offer letter will contain those information. He will now go and pay. And when he pays, another thing is tenancy agreement. The do's and don'ts. You should do this, you should not do that. And rightly, it should be when you have studied all those things and know that you can conform to the rule, then you sign. If you know that maybe the tenants, but due to accommodation pressure, people will sign anything you give them. Maybe somebody or the family size is increasing and he needed a new apartment. And maybe the children are, the schools are within the neighborhood. So asking the person to go far, he would know the kind of expenses that will be added to the ones on ground. So he will, whatever he said, within, if you can see property or accommodation within that location, whatever we ask the person, having considered the enormous expenses that awaits him if parks out outside that location, and other things of such nature. Do you get it? So, if things are done rightly, you should study those things. Know that those are legal documents that are suable. If I should use this word. Yes. If you don't cover your own part. Yes. Then at that very point, that's what's called pre-inspection. Pre-inspection, prior to occupation. Somebody has a, okay.
Suppose that the tenant should be given the tenancy agreement when the offer letter is given, or after the rent has been paid before the tenancy agreement should be given to the customer in an ideal situation. Because the reason I'm asking is, for instance, the customer decides to pay and the tenancy agreement, the client is not okay with the terms and conditions that is imputed in the tenancy agreement. So what's the right thing that's supposed to be done in such scenario? Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's a good question. What should be done is that tenancy agreement. Do you get it? Tenancy agreement. That tenancy agreement, ideally, I can get your point. One has to know exactly what he has to face prior to occupation. Do you get it? But even if you have not signed it, ideally you ought to know prior to payment. Do you get my point? You ought to know terms and conditions. Why? There are, there are places, some places we are managing that, or in most places, we request them not to have there's no need to keep dog. Do you get it? Don't keep pet dog, whatever you call it. Unless it's in a secluded environment, an environment upon which you are only living. You can't be living in a duplex. I mean, maybe let's say a duplex have a compound, not having separate compound. Are you getting it? And you keep a dog. Some people may be phobia seeing dogs, like myself. Yes. Then, if the person wants to go to his own corner, he'll be afraid of entering into a place he paid. No. So those things are better kept where you have your own apartment, your own compound. Whatever you want to keep there, no wahala. But since as far as it's like a community, many people living together, there are some certain restrictions that should be there. So that tenancy agreement you ought to have it explained, ideally. But how normally most people are practicing that you pay first. Then when you come, you sign your tenancy agreement. I don't know if you're getting the point. That is what is obtainable. It is after payment that tenancy agreement will be issued. That is why some may ask, because the issue is, could you ask ahead of payment? Pressure in accommodation may not allow you to look into those things. Do you get my point? But you ought to know. You should know those things before even payment. So that if the restriction is high for you to blend, you quit early enough. But in other way around, if the condition is tight, you can ask for refund. Yes. And you'll be refunded. Only by agency, that money, they have gone their separate, they have part their ways. So, let's progress. Then, before packing in, there should be inspection that should be done in a property before a tenant packs into a property, which is called schedule of condition. Schedule of condition speaks that when I pack in here, fittings are properly fitted. Plumbing works. Everything is okay or not okay. Those should be taken note. The company should take note of them. That there is no WC, there is no fan, there is no, fan is present, that's it. There is no this or that, which should form part of the structure. There, when you park in. Or there is this. Or at that point of your parking in, it is pure untenantable state. That is, everything is intact and okay. If those things could be noted, that will enable them know when you are parking out. That when you parked in, it was like this. Then you talk of caution fee. That's the essence of collection of caution fee. That whatever you may have damaged, probably from that caution fee, could be replaced. So, the lecture has been, the time has been well spent. I have a question and answer series. I hope you are prepared. But you have to ask me, I'm not asking anybody. Let me know if I have been talking to myself.
So in a situation whereby the manager of the property does not maintain, because it's acting on behalf of the landlord, does not maintain the fittings in the house, you know, what then happens when you schedule of dilapidation? Because that's part of the dilapidation, which they didn't take care of. So what happened? Is it still going to be paid from the caution fee and or what? Okay.
The first one is schedule of condition, stating condition of the property as the time you packed in. The second one is schedule of dilapidation. There must have been something that has stated the condition of properties when you packed in before you now talk of the dilapidating state of what you are living. I don't know if you're getting my point. So if it were to be that when you were packing in, that it was dilapidated already, nobody is to hold you responsible. But if as the time you packed in, that everything we are in workable state, you were the one, as wears, tears and wears. As a result, as time goes by, use as use facilities, wears and tears, we must catch up with that property. So, however we may look at it, you have to be conscious of the state of condition of the apartment at the time you are packing in. That's why if they are taking notice of these things was like this we are like this, you as well have the right to really pencil those things down and file it. At your time of packing out, you have the right to bring it that, look at what when I packed in, look at the condition of facilities I met. You can't exhaust facilities and ask them not to deduct it or to use your caution fee, even where it is paid. Some people at this very point may even, due to this prepared nature of light, will try to manipulate. Have too many challenges I'm facing. No. They will disrupt it, and eventually when they pass out, we realize that they have bills of hundreds of thousands, that unpaid arrears, which you don't have explanation to that to the landlord. You can't tell landlord that somebody packed out of his property and he didn't pay. He disrupted the electricity bills, his payment, electricity payment, and he deducted it from his rent. He wouldn't hear it. Do you get it? Those are the challenges I have told you that it is worrisome. What we encounter in real estate practice, particularly in property management, is enormous. And that's why you should be very careful and conscious and wisdom to handle it. Because all this we are talking is you are handling